Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios and brought to you by official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Muslin's The Missing, available on Amazon and paperback in ebook. She's backed by popular demand. She's a multi-talented entertainer from Arizona, known for paranormal life, and talking about her amazing career in the business, along with her work in the Cranial Sacral TMJ Therapist and remote view frequency healing. And she's also the host of a podcast YouTube show, which is a wonderful show, self-titled. We'll talk about that. An inspirational interview talk show covering a lot of topics, including the spiritual and the paranormal. Also featured in the TV series The Dead Files, and where her and her family are tormented by demonic spirits, and appeared in numerous commercials. And she was in Walker, Texas Ranger, Hacks, Important as Being Earnest, and she was a morning host on KHIL AM radio. Also public speaker, discussing paranormal, demonic attacks, and survived back-to-back car crashes. And plus, we'll be talking about a couple of her projects and some updates, including the Sacred Land Arizona series, Shadows of the Desert, and what's coming up for this wonderful lady. Live, ladies and gentlemen, for Plus Studios in beautiful downtown Arizona, the multi-talented entertainer, best known for paranormal life, and host of the Mercedez Lucke Benedict Show. And I guess we just gave it away, ladies and gentlemen. Backed by popular demand, Mercedez Lucke Benedict. Mercedes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and thanks for joining us once again.
Thank you so much, Mike Wagner. You're so awesome. I'm so excited to be back on.
I think those happy demons seem to be tickling me inside here. So it's like they're causing me to tickle, giggle, and just about everything else. So are we allowed to have happy demons inside or tickling demons, or is that considered bad? I just wonder about that. Is there such thing as a happy demon or tickling demon?
You know what? That's a good question. Maybe it could be just a happy joy spirit. You know, because, demons are demons, but I think, there's so many aspects to happy, joyous energies and spirits. So I'm pretty sure that that would be what you would have with you. Yes.
And I think that's a great idea too. So basically we had you on the show last. You talked about your career in the paranormal, and also being in the business, and also having the being a cranial sacral TMJ therapist, remote view frequency healer, and you got your own program. We'll be talking about your projects, Sacred Land Arizona series, Shadows of the Desert, and what's coming up. But first of all, just very quickly, how you got started.
Oh my gosh, how I got started. Okay. Well, actually, it started, the acting and singing was always something I wanted to do since I was a little girl. And so then I did start doing that pretty much right away, learning and playing guitar and things like that, and singing. Always sang in choir in Texas. And so then, in my 20s, that's when I started going to school and taking it seriously, and went through all the schooling for singing and stage and all that type of thing. Did a lot of that on the East Coast. And then went to California, did some more training, and really got into singing for the Save the Dolphins Foundation.
Oh, wow.
Did a lot of that. Then it just kind of escalated to where I went back to Texas. Then I took acting more seriously, and I went into a conservatory for acting, and then got my degree in that, and got a really great agent. That's where Walker, Texas Ranger was. So it was pretty common for any actor there to land something in that show. And I was lucky because I got to be in the back scenes, mostly because I was the stand-in person, and I was the person that was riding in the car if there was something going to be a chase scene. I was the double for a lot of people, the main lead. So I got to be in there with them for quite a while, and that was fun. And then I ended up getting to have a baby about that time. So it wasn't long where I just started, after that, I started to go ahead and work more with singing. And so then that's when we moved back to when we moved to Arizona, and I put a band together. And that's when we took off singing and created the Mercedez and the Highway Gypsy Band. So a lot of the videos I'm recreating now were from the Highway Gypsy Band. So I've made, I think, 7 music videos. Oh, wow. It's been a blast, because I've been able to actually take the music that we sang as we toured, and I couldn't make music videos then. But so what I've done is It's like it's been on hold for a decade or more. And
Oh,
it's like
those
it was.
spirits! I'll tell you, those spirits, those demons. What's going on with that?
Well, I tell you what, I felt, I mean, to be honest, I'll be all happy here, but I do feel like it was a curse on my family. My band broke up, my family. It was really bad. And so it's almost like my life has always been where you get going and then something knocks you off. You get going and something happens and knocks you off. You get going. So I've always felt in my heart that that was, you know, it was a curse on me for what happened. But what then ended up being, like we talked about in the last time, well, I went through a divorce, and then I went into, I ended up afterwards having these 2 car accidents that almost killed me. And that's what changed my life
Mhm.
into, I'm seriously, I almost died. Like, I don't know how I lived. And something happened and altered in my body. It's like one of those things you hear about, you just can't even imagine, but it did alter my body. And so I ended up being able to go, I started working for the doctor that was able to heal me. And so the work that I do or have been doing all these years has been with this doctor, and it's been amazing. I was able to hone and use as you mentioned, these the energy work, the remote view healing. I didn't have that before. I was just a singer actress and loved that. I didn't have special gifts. I mean, maybe some intuition and things like that, but I never had like anything special
Mhm.
gifts. I would wake up I could hear 3 songs going, and I would have all the words, or I could wake up and hear a whole instrumental orchestra thing with just what to do, and that to me was my gift. But
Wow.
see, that was what I would hear. I could hear like an angel singing in my head, so I could just write that down and know
Mhm.
what it was to say. So that was before. But so I guess what happened was something altered that, and that's when I became this cranial sacral remote healer that works on people, and still to this day do work on people. And I started my own private practice since Dr. Swidler retired, and that's part of what I'm here to talk about. But yeah, so it's been a very interesting road for me.
Mhm. And it's amazing too. We'll talk about your private practice as well too, and I'm glad you mentioned that. You also have some updates for the Sacred Land Arizona series, Shadows of the Desert, and what's coming up. We'll find out just in a minute with the amazing Mercedez Lucke Benedict. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sacral Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking a budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. It's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is illusion and those who love be the first go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews. In Evil Evan enjoys by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassie, Forge Riley, and Minanos. So grab your copy today for Girls Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, or 40 podcast platforms. Heard in 100 countries, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also, Apple Music, iTunes, Google Play, Pandora, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn. Also on BitChute, Rumble, YouTube, and also subscribe to us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Threads, and more. Make sure you take us with you on any mobile device. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. T-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, hoodies. Makes great gifts 24/7. Go to Amazon.com. Be sure to check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia for great books like Missing, Once, and Wrinkles. Also t-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, phone cases, and more. Amazon.com/me and Molson Dia. Check it out today and support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. We're here with the multi-talented entertainer known for her paranormal life, Mercedez Lucke Benedict, here on the Mike Wagner Show. And we talked last time about the Sacred Land Arizona series and Shadows of the Desert. And give us an update on those and what those are about.
Well, the last time, and I just got to applaud you for how you do that. I love how you do that, all that you do.
I guess I still have it after all these
you still got
so-called
it.
months or so or whatever.
Oh no, you're awesome. It's like amazing just to listen and watch. So the last time I was on, I was just talking about starting the series. I hadn't filmed it yet. And so we started filming, and we've made 2 of them, or I've made 2 of them. The family works with me, so we have like a family team. But I made one. I just loved the mayor of our community so much after I did this first interview that I just took it and ran with it, and I created this thing, and it was really about our land, the land all around, but it was about the perspective through the mayor of Marana's eyes. And so I call, and it's just such a great, it's just so great when you listen to somebody and how they grew up and in this place. And so that I took that and created the first one. Then the second one I created from interviews between the mayor and an archaeologist that is very, very big here, a really very well-known archaeologist. And so I took both of them and created part 2. And so that's where they're talking, just about the history of the land. And so that's, part of the series is made, or the series is because of what happened to us on the land, our experiences. And so all of these years, I've always been researching, trying to find and uncover what happened on this land. And so I had to find people that would talk and tell me and tell the audience, tell us the real truth, what happened on this land. And so the mayor and the archaeologist, so it's almost like I have these amazing people. And so that was part 2. And all of these can be found on my Vimeo and by YouTube. I wanted it so much to be on Amazon was it Amazon? Yeah, Amazon Prime. But for some reason, I'm having difficulty, I think because I've titled it documentary. So we're trying to find a different aspect of how to go about trying to get it on Amazon or Hulu or any of that. So we're working on those next steps.
You guys talk to Jeff Bezos about it. He's got money to do so.
I know, really. So, but you know what? It's doing all this myself, creating all this and filming it and editing it. It's so monumentally, it just really takes your time and it's my soul. So then the third one is the one I always had talked about before, Shadows of the Desert, or Ghosts in the Dark. And then I didn't realize I was going to be actually creating a Sacred Land series. And so that's kind of been a big deal for me. And so because it is sacred land. And that's, to me, it's like that way we can encompass every single part of the story, what the story is about, why is all because of this land and the people. And so the Shadows of the Desert is literally the story about our paranormal experiences, about other people's paranormal experiences. I've found many, many people through this time that have had the exact same experiences that we have had. Some of them would not come on. So I'm so thankful. I ended up finding people that would share their story, because people don't want to share. Sometimes they don't want to share the story, but I have found them, and people that helped us. I have some of them coming on. I have the paranormal investigation team, the Tucson Ghost Society, who has literally been helping us since 2021 and on. And so all of the evidence that they have caught on, it's there, like voices and what they're doing. They said this place is so active. It's still active. There's spirits everywhere. But we had Bill Bean come in and help us, and did 3 exorcisms, 3 deliverance exorcisms. You can call them either one, I guess. And in the year of 2021, there's 3
Okay.
separate ones. This week, I mean, like 2 days ago, would have been a 3-year period since he came
Oh, wow.
and helped us the very last time. So this is the 3-year anniversary. And I will say this: before 3 years ago, I thought I was going to die.
Mm-hmm.
I am a different person. I'm the same person, but there was so many things I really thought it was it was very hard. So when I wrote this song, which is another part of it, I called it Ghosts in the Dark. And so I wrote it on my piano. And most of the time I was depressed or upset because we were on lockdown here in the house on the property
Mm-hmm.
in Marana, Arizona. We have property, and we were all locked down and shut down here in this. We couldn't leave, to you couldn't leave. You couldn't really go anywhere. And so we had a lot of bad things that were going on at that time. And I wrote this song. It's really about looking at what is going on. Why am I so scared? What is happening? Who are these? I want to know. I want to know about the land. I want to know. It was all the questions are in the song. And when I finally got to do the song, I was just really blown away to get the music that I loved so much. I found this amazing way to make this music. And
Mm-hmm.
that's, to me, so the new song, Ghost in the Dark, came out on my birthday, which was the 28th.
Happy
And
birthday.
thank you. And I shared that with the world. And so far, the people that have watched it and listened and taken the time to do that have loved it and have sent me wonderful messages of what the song means. And so to me, that's just the glory of it to me. I just think that God is just helping work through all of this to create it. So that's what the series is. And this is this Shadows of the Desert will be the part 3 of the series. And then from there, I'm going to continue on where there will be a complete thing completely as one of the episodes on Bill Bean and
Okay.
what he did out here and all about him. And then another one will be just about the paranormal investigation team. And then another one is going to be about we ended up we found out several years ago that our land, if you look at it from a geomap perspective, which I didn't know anything about that until we were working with a tourism guide here in our city at that time. So I think that was in 2000, probably 2019,
Uh-huh.
as well, 2020. I met this lady that was helping us. And so she was looking at our property through a different type of investigation mind. And she said, right there, we are like, if you had a geomap, there's sacred tribal areas that are encircle us. And so when you look at a map and you draw lines, we're dead in the middle of those.
How do you like that?
It's very interesting. So that's something. So what I started to do is we started to use the tourism people, and they would take us to these different locations, and we started filming back then. So one of them is just very close to us is a Silver Bell mine, and that was an old mining town. It's still a mining town, but it's like a ghost town.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of them. And then there's other different areas. So we'll go into each one of those in the series, where we'll go to that and we'll create a series from that episode from that series.
Uh-huh. And that sounds rather interesting as well, too. You also have a project that's coming up as well, too. That's somewhat in the works. Maybe just give us a little, piece to what's happening, especially come up in 2023 and going into 2024.
Yeah. So I decided after I was just saying how the doctor I worked for retired. Well, this year has been very strange for me because I haven't had that. And so I'm kind of like free to be me now. I don't know, like I'm not connected to the office. And so I kept getting to try to understand what I should do. And so one day I just heard, you need to make a series on this with clients. And so I'm like, okay. So
How do
I
you
put in,
like that?
yeah, like, okay. I have tried, I mean, I always filmed when I was in the office, not always because it was in the office, but I would film a lot when I was work on people,
Uh-huh.
and I would share that during the day, what I'm doing in the office today, and all around the office. I'd share that. So it was kind of normal. But, here, number one, I didn't want people to come out to this land after, because we tried and tried and it never would work. And then it was not good for people to come out here. So now that the land is good again, it's happy and it's very healthy out here.
Mhm.
It seems like it just went through. And I put a little note on Facebook for who wants to come out here. I just want to film you. And I was like, boom, the phone started ringing. So
Oh, you like that?
yeah, so people, so they have to they have to make sure they don't mind being on TV, or not TV, but on the video.
Uh-huh.
And so, yeah, so far I in between everything else, I am trying to do that as well. So I filmed 3 people so far. And so when hopefully I'll be done editing the Shadows of the Desert in a few weeks. 3 weeks is my goal. And then I'm going to start working on the new project, which is, it's going to be just really about it's a healing project where I can help people, show them the different techniques that I use, that I teach people at home all the time. I teach people how to take care and help heal themselves on certain levels that I can easily do. And so that's what it's going to be about. And then it's also going to be about, already, it's like, it's just my work and how I work with the body. So you see that. So a lot of people are like, what are you doing? Or they're afraid, or oh, I don't know about that.
Mhm.
But so, but when it's so hard to explain it, because most people in the world don't even know what cranial sacral therapy is.
Mhm.
I've been a new clinic right now, the Dove Mountain Chiropractic and Massage, and I work under a chiropractor, and I have my private practice. And I try to tell people what I do and what I've done. And most people, 90% of them, have no clue. So that really motivated me to go ahead. And since I don't have the wings or the doctor, like right there saying, well, this is what she does, and
Uh-huh.
100% support. So yeah, so I decided to do this. And that way we can share what it is that I'm doing to help people. And that's what I'm going to do.
Mhm. And maybe you can explain the fact about, what you do in case, somebody contacts you about, your private practice, set up an appointment and everything else. Maybe you can tell everybody beforehand, what you do, and then they'll know when to call you and feel comfortable.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's a very good idea. So, and another thing I do is I work with, what it is. It's called remote viewing, and that's one aspect of it. The remote viewing is, I have to be in I have to be, for my safety's sake. I have to do my prayers, and I have to do the things that put me in alignment. I don't have to do that, but if I'm with a session and somebody, I'm working on them, I do all my rules and I cover all the boundaries for that. But I can see if there's a fascia, if there's an area in their fascia, like say if they have a sprained arm, I can look at the arm and just, I can see it. I can see
Mhm.
the patterns that's off. And so I can adjust that. It's like slight manipulation, a slight things like that. And so we work through that way. That's how I work. And so in the videos, you'll be able to see that very clearly what I'm doing. And I talk through the whole thing. I'm trained, and I am a cranial sacral therapist. And so, but I'm not just the regular cranial sacral therapist. There's several levels. So I was trained in osteopathy cranial sacral as a cranial sacral therapist, where we are really working with every piece of the body. I even go into the teeth, the
Oh
eyes,
my goodness.
the
Wow.
ears, the mouth, all of that. I unwind teeth. I worked at a holistic dentist, a famous holistic dentist place called Medicine Will Dental and Wellness. And we saw people from all over the world at this office. And it was an amazing thing to I don't know how, I was just blessed, so he saved my life. and I couldn't walk. And it was his therapy, this therapy, that saved me and helped me to be able to walk. So I then began working for him and helping him. And then I became the therapist for all those years. So so basically a cranial sacral therapy. If you go to a chiropractor, the chiropractor is going to, do their adjustments. They do sharp, bumpy ones usually. This is not. This is about holding space, like holding under the sacrum, holding under the middle of the back. And then you let the waves of the body run through. And then you slightly adjust and let the waves of the fascia run through. It unwinds the fascia. It frees the pain up, and it fixes everything. I couldn't walk. I couldn't walk. I mean, like, and so I learned, what I did was I then learned, as I started healing, I started to learn, well, how do I just do this? I couldn't rely on the doctor. I learned to work on myself at home. And so that is how, there's a lot of people out here that can't go to the doctor. There's a lot of people out there that can't afford chiropractics 3 days a week. So I'm one of those people that can say to you, you don't have to do that. I mean, it's personal choice and maybe what you need to do, but there are certain things you can do that can release this pain from you, or a session from me. And it's just amazing. So I do think that was a true blessing to get that. And so then there's people also that call me. I've worked with people all the way in Japan, all the way across our country. And they'll call me and they'll have problems, or usually it's refer it, like word of mouth. And so I tell them, don't tell me anything about it. I don't want to know. And so we get on the phone and we do the protocol, and then I start going through the body, and I have certain rules that I ask for people to do, because there's certain things that you can do that will help alleviate. You can feel like a detox has happened when you come to see me in person or over the phone. Any type of energetic work, you can feel really like you're going through a detox, because it comes out through the body. So I have certain things I like to tell people to do to take care of themselves. One of the things that is really important for every one of us is Epsom salt baths.
Yes, that's interesting.
Yeah. When you take an Epsom salt bath, that was one of the things that was shocking to me, because I didn't believe in any of this before my accidents, really. And I was so hurt, and I was living I'd lost my house. I mean, I had a beautiful rental house. I had lost that. I had no money because of the accident. The doctor, before I started working for him, he got me in with this lady that had a really beautiful house. And so she took us in, took me and my son in, and she had this bathtub. And so she said, you need to go in there and get that Epsom salt bath. And I'm like, oh, whatever. And so, but I couldn't, I mean, like, I hadn't really been getting help from the doctor by then. I don't remember. But I was in so much pain that I literally crawled to this bathtub on the floor on my hands and knees, dying in pain. And I got in the bathtub. I know it's crazy. It's so crazy, but I hated sitting in the bathtub. Now I think of it as like a ritual, and I think of it as like how to heal myself. Anyway, so I ended up being in that bathtub, and I had put my head under the water, and I just waiting. And when I wanted to get up, I got up pain-free.
Wow.
Pain-free. I had no pain. And I wasn't even on medication or nothing. I don't drink, so I had nothing. It was the Epsom salt. And so then I'm like, what in the world? So I started really checking on that, and what happened if I dunked my head under the water, or if I didn't dunk my head under the water. And if I did not dunk my head under the water, I would still have pain.
Interesting.
But if you put the whole water in your whole body, so now I understand it now. So it's actually, so we have all the centers, it's everywhere on our energy fields and our whole energy. a lot of people don't realize it because they'll sit in the bathtub and they'll have like this much up. So they have neck pain and they're not getting it all filled. So when you do the water and the Epsom clearly cleanses everything out and it takes the pain away. So all these years, I always tell my patients or my clients about that. And I always get the same thing. Yeah, it worked. So I definitely, I mean, like, that's something amazing to me that, like, when I don't know if you probably know pain.
Mm-hmm.
I know pain. I know.
We've all been through it. So it's like any kind
Yeah.
of accident, anything like that, or even like,
Yeah.
repetitive everything. We completely understand it.
Yeah. So when you know pain, you know when it goes away. And then, so yeah. So those are the type of things that I want to be able to share and bring out to people. And that's what this series will be. And it will be on YouTube and Vimeo for sure. I know that.
And in the meantime, where can we find your private practice at and all your information, especially the private practice?
Yeah. So you can go to my website, Mercedez Lucke Benedict.com. So that's MERCEDEZLuckeBenedict.com. And on that website, you will find everything that I do basically there. And it does have the place where I work. I have the place in it's in Marana, but it's like it's borders Tucson. So it's a really wonderful little practice there, a clinic. So I love to work for clinics because I know I can work with real pain there. So that's where I work. And then I have the private practice here, which is, like I said, we're starting that up again. But I have this cabin, I have my cabin and I have my table and I have my piano. I have like everything
and
in
everything.
this cabin.
Yeah. And also,
Yeah,
I forgot to ask one more question. Do you do Zoom meetings or Zoom healings?
I haven't yet done Zoom. The reason being is I like to just not have to see a person. Like right now I'd be looking at you, but if I'm just on the voice on the phone, it's like I have a really clear energy thing. So you know what I mean? It's really interesting, but you're not seeing anything. It's all relying on the feelings and the senses.
Okay.
So I don't do them because I want to make sure that I'm not like what's the word? I don't know. I want to just be clear.
Right. Yeah, that's understandable. We just want to get an understanding in case they ask about Zoom meetings and everything else. And of course, we're here with Mercedez Lucke Benedict here on the Mike Wagner Show, and it's great to have you back on. And of course, feel free to keep in touch and everything else. And once again, what's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase or check out your works and just check out your services?
Sure thing. Okay, so MercedezLuckeBenedict.com is my website. You can also catch all or hear all my music on Apple and Amazon, Spotify, all of those. You can go and find Mercedez Lucke Benedict music. And that's really awesome. So I've got the new song on there right now, which is Ghosts in the Dark. You can also find me on Facebook. I'm starting an Instagram account right now. I'm on Twitter. I'm on all of those, and please check out my podcast, which I absolutely love. I've done this over a year now with the Web Radio Network, and it's called the Mercedez Lucke Benedict Show. And I just have incredible people that I love to be on and converse with. This week on Monday, I have an incredible, he's an exorcist. He's been an exorcist for 43 years. He's like the chief exorcist. And his name is just Archbishop Ronald, oh God, Enright. And oh my gosh. Oh yeah. and I put a new thing on YouTube because I create all the videos I do. And so I put a promo out, and boy, this man is something else. I can hardly wait to talk to him on Monday night. The show is always on at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, but that always changes because everybody else is different. But it's on Monday nights always. And you can find that on Spreaker. It streams, live stream Spreaker, but you can find it like yours on all the other podcasts. And then I usually take a spin off of that and put some of it onto my YouTube channel so people can see a little bit there and then go to the other one. But so far, it's been a really wonderful experience to be with this, on this radio show, on this.
And certainly amazing. And certainly amazing as well, too. And once again, Mercedes, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having it soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Live have you back. Wish all the best. And Mercedes, you definitely have a great future ahead of you, and you're welcome back anytime.
Thank you.